If you haven't already figured it out, my wife is black, so we are painting, obviously, lots of dark skin tones here, which is really fun. But essentially, I mean, it's all the same. So like, if you were to look at this color on its own that I'm using right now, on its own, not knowing who we're painting, you would look at that color and maybe say that's a black person, or maybe say it's a brown person, or that it's a white person. And that just goes to show you from a artist's perspective that we are all the same. We are all of one race, the human race. And as you can see, like this shade that we're using right now is, again, it's actually a pretty light shade. So I would say overall, my wife is, her skin is on the lighter side, a lighter brown color for the most part. Her skin is a lighter brown for the most part, which is why we're using this shade. So you can see that through the colors of our palette, we are all one and the same. My wife and I, we don't refer to ourselves as black people or white people. I mean, we do in the regards of, I mean, that's what we are. We have different color skin, but it's in referring to each other or how we interact, we are just people. I don't see my wife as a black person or a black wife. I see her as a person and as a wife, my wife. And she treats me the same way. She doesn't treat me as a white person or a white husband. She treats me as a person and as a husband. Doesn't matter what color our skin is what I'm trying to say. And that is, maybe you're different. I'm not saying everyone has to share that perspective or that approach. I will say, I think it's a healthy approach. And it is a correct approach. Not that there's not other correct approaches, but we are all equal. We're all the same. And that's how we treat everyone the same, is by viewing and seeing each other as equal in all aspects, all regards. So again, when I look at my wife, I don't see a black person. I see a person. And when she looks at me, she doesn't see a white person. She sees a person. And along with that also means that stereotypes or cultural differences, whatever you want to call them these days, again, none of that really matters. I mean, you can act and be whatever way you want to be. Again, what's the point? The point is that your skin color really should not be the determining factor. It should not really matter. If you want to act a certain way or a certain cultural choice or whatever, that is really your preference. You don't have to be a certain color to do that. At least not in America, anyway. And that's why we have freedom here. You have freedom to choose what you want. If you like something that is, let's say, I don't know, stereotypically or culturally a white, quote unquote, white thing, then go for it. If you want something that is culturally, quote unquote, culturally or whatever, a quote unquote black thing, then go for it. This is America. You got freedom to do what you want. So anyway, all that to say that we are getting into a lot of really cool skin tones here. And as you can see, as I've been blabbing, about this stuff, if you've been watching, we are getting some really cool progress done with this color. I think it's really starting to come together. We're pretty much mostly filling in all of the areas of the face at this point. So, and this shade of brown is combining very nicely with the rest of the painting. So, what are your thoughts? If you watch my videos, we always have some nice, good, edifying, philosophical questioning discussion. So, what are your thoughts? White, black, culture, race. I guess we hit on all the things that we're not supposed to talk about, right? At least that they say we're not supposed to talk about, right? But why not? Why can't we have normal conversations about these things? What is the problem? And what are your thoughts? Do you share a similar opinion? Do you disagree? Maybe your opinion's different. Do we have any biracial couples or spouses out there that maybe want to give a little shout out or represent? Maybe throw in your opinion. If so, I would love to hear about it. Let's see your comments down below. And this is a family friendly little disclaimer. This is a family friendly little discussion and a family friendly little video. So let's keep it that way down there. If any crazy people want to go off the handle for who knows what reason. But I also want to hear your opinion, so I'm not saying you have to agree with me or whatever. Let's just keep it nice. Let's keep it civil. If you totally disagree with me entirely, that is fine. You don't have to call me names or anything like that. But you guys are cool. You know, you won't do anything like that. Right? Right. So give me your thoughts below. What is your opinion on that type of stuff? Here's another good one. Maybe we can kind of segue that into another good question is, are we one race? You already heard me say, kind of my opinion on that is that we are. We are the human race. We are all part of one big race, the human race, humankind, with all of its lovely and beautiful variations. And that has always been a belief and held by a lot of people for a long time in history. But nowadays, people have different opinions on that. So let me hear your opinion. What do you think? Are we all one race? Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Where does that race come from? And why is it important? Just kind of throwing some thoughts out there. If all men are created equal, and you have the freedom to be and do what you want to be and whatever you want to do, where do we get that right? Where do we get that freedom from? And I guess if you haven't already figured it out, or maybe if you don't know, I'm kind of going toward the roots and the framework of our nation there. So we're talking about the Constitution of the United States. Where where all men are created equal. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me your thoughts in the box below. This is Multicultural History Lesson through art with JViz. Hope you enjoy. If so, hit that like button.